Hey guys, today we are here. We're going to do a big bore install on a KLX110. It's a 2021. I'm not very good on bikes. I don't know too much. Everything I learned has been on YouTube. So I'm here today to let you know how hard or easy this ends up being. I have no idea. We watch some YouTube videos. We think we know what we're doing. So we're going to try to walk you through this process and we'll see how it goes. So before we dive into this, just want to say that we got these awesome shirts for sale, BADFRIENDSKLX110. Go cop yours. Still some left. We got some hoodies coming in. Lots of good stuff going on, so keep your eyes on the website. Again, BADFRIENDSKLX110. If you want to hear more of my dumbass, just head over and listen to our podcast. It's Drinking Coffee, Talking Shit. Find us on anywhere you stream your podcasts. So let's just hop in this and go ahead and dive right in. This is everything the kit comes with. Foam air filter, which we might do a U-flow. Instead, we have that. We'll see how it goes. We got the piston, which is a 60 millimeter V2 race head. The racing cam, again, V2. We got the Mikuni VM26 carb. We got the cylinder right here. And we got the race head, V2 roller rocker. So we have everything we need right here. And we're gonna go ahead and dive right into this. We already drained the gas out of the gas can. And next we're gonna go through and take all the plastics on the bike, prep it for all this work. Up on the stand, we're just gonna go ahead and start taking all the plastics off. We're gonna zoom through this. 8mm socket takes off just about everything. And we wanna do this just so we have access to everything. The plastics aren't getting in our way during this process. All right, so let's do this, guys. All right, guys, now that all the plastics are off, we're gonna go ahead and take off our sprocket guard and our gas tank just to give us complete working area and access to everything. So we're gonna go ahead and get after that right now. So we got the gas tank off and we took the carb off with it. There's just one bolt up here that allows you to take it off. And the gas line, you just have to pinch it. If you didn't clean out your gas tank before, you're gonna lose a little bit of gas. I still had a little left in the line, ended up on the floor, so we're gonna have to clean that up later. Next, we're gonna go ahead and dive into the air box. All right, guys, so now we got the bike completely naked. We went ahead and left the back fender on because we don't need to take that off for anything. And we also left the front plastics on. The fender and all these plastics came off, all relatively simple, 8mm bolts all the way around. It's about 10 of them, maybe 12. And then there's a screw right here on the gas tank to remove that plastic. Only one screw holds, it's an 8mm bolt, holds the gas tank on. And there is your gas line that you have to just pinch and get off. It's held on by that little clamp. To get the air box off, bolt, then it's kind of fed through here. Then you also have to hit on this side the little C clamp that is still on the air box. This is your little C clamp that you just have to unscrew to get that off. So next we're really just gonna clean this as best as we can so we don't have to worry about getting any dirt in the engine while we are working. So we're gonna go ahead and get after that.
From the heathens, got will, got fight, got pride, got reason if they want to.
All right, guys, now we got the bike cleaned, everything is off. We are gonna go ahead and dive into removing what we need to take off. So we're gonna first replace the cylinder, and we're also gonna get rid of the carburetor and everything that goes along with it. So we're gonna start by taking out these two bolts. And then we are going to, we're also getting rid of the choke because it is now built in, so we no longer need that. So we'll jump over to the other side. We are going to be removing our spark plug and all the miscellaneous cables and the exhaust. So we're gonna go ahead and get after this and see how it goes. Stay tuned.
When they do what they do, and now I feel like taking off, find a place with a view. The pain is never gonna stop if it's controlling you. I know that time can heal it all, I just gotta get through. I just gotta get through, I just gotta get through. Cause I feel like taking off, find a...
Alright guys, so we went ahead and took all those parts off. We started with the carb. As you can see, it is now completely gone. We also took the choke off, and we'll flip over to the other side. Spark plug is gone. Exhaust is gone. The only thing that I did not show you was the clutch assembly. We had a small little issue. One of the screws was completely destroyed. I think I took a couple spills. It was so scratched that I couldn't take it off. So instead we took off a little bolt that held the whole thing on. We went ahead and ordered a new one, and that will be here shortly, and we'll be able to continue with our project. So in the meantime, we are going to go ahead and clean it again real quick to try to get some more of this excess dirt out of here, and then we'll go from there. So our next step is going to be that we are going to drain the oil, and we are going to get our skid plate off of here, so we have complete room to work. Alright guys, so got the oil drained, got the skid plate off. Now we're going to dive into getting the case off, so we can actually start getting some of the old inner workings out and getting the new stuff on. So we got the case open. We are going to dive into getting all of the camshaft tensioner stuff off, which is up here. We're going to take that off, and then we're going to get these out of here, and then we'll check back in with you before we dive into the next step.
Back of my head I'm seeing, take me for granted, and you know I'm leaving. I'ma take what's mine.
So to get this off, we have to stick a flathead inside of it, turn it clockwise, and it should come out, but I need both my hands. So I'm going to set the camera down, and she came right out. So when you turn it clockwise, you can feel the spring loading up, so you're able to pull it out. Alright guys, so now we are going to go get these last couple inner workings out.
It's controlling you, I know that time can heal it all, I just gotta get through. Sometimes I feel like all is lost, but I know it's not true. I wanna put up all my walls cause I'm not in the mood, but then I cut myself off from the rest of the room. I know that time can heal it all if you're patient, and soon it can all be worth it, all the searching. Pain is never really permanent, but damn it hurts me.
That's gonna be it. That's loose. We can get this out, and we can get after the 4 head bolts in there. As soon as we get those off, we can get the head off, and we can really get to work. Alright guys, so now we're going to work on getting the head off. There are 2 bolts in here that we need to get out, and these 4. So we're going to go ahead and take those off and get the head off of here. Alright guys, so we got the head and the cylinder off. The last step is to get the piston out of here, and then we can start putting all the new stuff on. There was a little bracket on the far side that we had to take off as well before we could take the head and the cylinder off. That was about it. Came off pretty smoothly. So next we're going to go ahead and get this piston off. which there's just a little circlip right in there that we gotta pop, and then it should come off pretty smoothly. We'll see how it goes.
Cold frostbite they feeling, I could tear you apart or I could go heal them. Don't believe in fate, don't believe in ceilings. I just need a taste and my mind starts peeling. I don't pace my...
As you can see, we got the piston off. I just took the little circlips off and then used an 8mm socket to push it out, and it came off really smoothly. So let's jump over to our parts. We're gonna have to clean up the table a little bit. There's the old piston. We're gonna get into putting in the new piston. Alright guys, so we're going to get after getting the piston ring set up. So it comes with 5 rings. 2 of them are marked, 2 of them are not. The 2 that are marked are going to face up, and those will be the last ones we put on. The first one we're going to get on is one of these little guys, and it's going to sit all the way back. First one is in. Gonna get this guy in next, and it sits all the way in that deepest gap. This is gonna sit just above it. When I say above, closer to the end. So right, we're back. We got them into the, so it should be black ring that's all the way in there, the doily, and then the other black, similar black ring. So we just want to make sure that's sitting nicely in there, which it is absolutely not right now. But we're gonna get our other rings on first before we go back to that. So this needs to sit in that second lowest ring. And if you get one side in, you can kind of work your way around and push the rest of it down into the gap that you need it to be in, because they do kind of want to fall into the wrong ones. So that one's in. And last but not least, the oil scraper ring, which is just one of the ones with the R on it. R facing up towards the end. That's in there. And now we just have to get this in there nicely. Well, once I get this in there nicely, I'll tell you how I did it, because I'm not sure how I'm going to do it yet. Because for whatever reason, it does not want to sit nicely. Alright guys, we are back. I had to go get a new O-ring because that other one was not sitting right. There was something wrong with it. Luckily, one of my friends is currently waiting to do his 143 big bore kit. So I had to go drive about 2 hours total to go pick that up from him. He was about an hour away. So now we are back in business. So we're going to go ahead and get this installed, get the cylinder back on, and get the head on. So go ahead and get this piston on. We already put, we already put one of the circlips on, so we're gonna go ahead, put that there. I lied. I'm not gonna put that there. I'm gonna put that there. Go ahead and slide this through. And we're gonna go ahead, I don't know if this is how you're supposed to put these in, but this is the easiest way I've found to do it. It is with a flathead screwdriver. So, go ahead and start the one side. It's much easier to get the first one on. Start the one side. Oh, fuck me. Great. That was dripping the whole time we were gone. Make sure it's all the way in there and actually sitting in its little thing. You heard the little click. Don't know why that's leaking so much. But next we're gonna go ahead and get the cylinder back on. We already scraped off all of the old gasket So we're gonna put the new one on and slide the cylinder on. So we're gonna start with the gasket. It should line up perfectly. If it doesn't, you have it backwards. Go ahead and flip it over. Get everything back through for the second time. Second time's the charm. And now that's all good. And we need the old plastic piece. So we're gonna slip our plastic piece back in. And we're gently going to slide this on there. Chain is going to get fed through. Make sure you put some oil on the inside of your cylinder, which I did not do. And we're going to do that right now. Just to make it a little smoother going in. Just get that a little lubricated. And you're gonna need to squeeze the O-rings as you put the piston in. Otherwise the piston won't go in. So, go one at a time and just make sure that your rings are going in smoothly. So we're gonna collapse the first one. Hopefully I'll be able to do this nice and easy. Of course not. Life's not easy, guys. First ring is in. Oh no, first ring's back out. And my phone. Alright, so we're back. We were able to get the piston head in. Just used, again, flathead screwdriver to hold part of it steady. Angled it down a little bit to sit in the cylinder, to clamp it, and we were able to slide everything on. So, next we are confused because I don't know what that is. Sorry guys. Okay. So we got our gasket on again. If it's not correctly matching, you'll find out really quickly which way it goes. So we are going to slide the head on. Get that cam through. Make sure everything's lined up correctly. Gasket looks good. And then I need to go check the torque specs, and we're gonna start getting everything situated in the head. So we got our torque specs, and for the two bolts that go inside of the head, it is 104 inch-pounds. And then for the two on the the four head nuts on the outside, they're going to be 16 foot-pounds. So I'm gonna switch to the other camera and breeze through this. Alright guys, so we are back. So we had to do a little investigating with the camshaft. So turns out you slide the two little metal rollers through these pieces. You screw it in so it's tapping that. And then you do the same on the bottom, screw in the little metal plate and put your cam sprocket back on over it. So just had to research that to make sure we put it in correctly. And now we are going to tighten that up and put the cam tensioner back in. So I'm gonna put the camera back on the stand, then I'll show you guys that. All right guys, so we are back and the camshaft bolts are 104 inch-pounds. So we're just gonna set our torque wrench to that real quick. So we're gonna do this the same way we did it before. First, let me set my inch-pounds real quick. It's 46 inch-pounds. For these bolts, you are also supposed to use Loctite, which I'm not right now because I don't have any, but I will go out and buy some so we make sure that these don't come out on us. We will hit that later, but we want to get this in, so we're going to twist it, bring it up. Maybe. Ha! Asshole is turning it the wrong way. It's clockwise. Remember that. Bring that all the way up. Sit her in there. And hopefully we can get these bolts. Because I actually just remembered that I had to use
every surface, it makes me nervous. Is the world honestly burning? That's all I'm learning. Hope that we can make a turn and start reversing all our minds and put the work in. We got some work, man.
So after a little mishap, we had to completely take everything off because our cam chain came off of the gear. So we had to take this off, get it back on there, put it all back on. So now we're just gonna go and get a bunch of the plates on so we can move on to the carb.
When they do what they do, and now I feel like taking off, find a place with a view. The pain is never gonna stop if it's controlling you. I know that time can heal it all. I just gotta get through. I just gotta get through. I just gotta get through. Cause I feel like taking off, find a place with a view. The pain is never gonna stop.
Alright guys, so we got the whole bike, the whole head and cylinder assembled. Time to move on to the carb. So this comes almost pre-assembled. You kind of just have to get the clutch into the actual throttle. Excuse me, the throttle cable into the actual throttle. So I'm going to show you how to do this real quick. So this doesn't come assembled. You have to feed your throttle line down in through here. I'll just take it off to show you real quick. So this little plate comes out. You put your throttle cable in, the plate in, and then the needle in. Spring. And then this lines up in here, the thicker hole with the thicker pin. And it's supposed to slide right in, and I'm doing it from the wrong, I did it from the wrong end. Thicker pin. Slides right in and screws in. And then just make sure it works. You can see that is your throttle. And we're going to use these brackets to get mounted. I'm going to have to use these because you can't quite get into these corners. So I'll go ahead and show you guys that. So we got our carb in there. Show you up close. Bolt, 2 bolts up here, carb, throttle cable running up. I ran it over, just decided that's what I wanted to do. And we're gonna go ahead and put the U-flow on there. So I'm gonna show you guys how to do that real quick. So the U-flow is pretty simple. It's just a couple clamps, clamp here, and then this clamp will clamp onto the carb. So we're gonna go ahead and get that installed. And of course, it'll mount. We're gonna get that installed and I'll show you what it looks like. We got the BBR U-Flow on. We also grounded out this wire right here with the spare bolt we had. U-Flow installs pretty easy, little bracket right here, 2 bolts that it comes with, and it just clamps into your carb. So we're gonna go ahead and get the gas tank on here and the exhaust, and we're gonna go ahead and fire this thing up, see what happens. So we've got the gas tank hooked up, exhaust back on, everything should be good to go. We just got to get the clutch screwed in, and then it will actually be good to go. Alright, so we are all good to go, and we're going to fire up for the first time. Gas is on, oil's filled back up, we changed the oil filter, exhaust is back on, gas is hooked up. Gas line is dripping a little bit because it looks like it's too large of a line, so we're gonna have to figure that out in a little bit. All right, so we're back. The bike is firing it up. It turns out the battery was dead. So we went out and got a battery, gonna fill this bitch up, and hopefully we'll be able to fire it up and call it a day.
Special guest appearance. What's up, boys?
Had to sneak in.
I don't have a search thing on the front of the website.
And we just let her fill up. Simple as that. Alright, so we got a new battery, all charged. Everything's hooked up. Turn the gas on. Pull the choke once I find it. Hidden under the plastic. Moment of truth. Oil cap's off still. Put that on real quick.
Yeah. Is your drain plug on?
My drain plug?
For the oil, didn't you change the oil?
Yeah. On and tight.
Hold on. Sorry.
You ready?
Go ahead, Danger Dan, let it rip. Holy shit.
So it fires. We need to fuck with the airflow. And it's in a horrible spot.
Smell some fuel.
Fuck yeah.
You got the choke on or off?
It's on right now.
I would turn it off. That uneven idle, that's the cam making that. Dude, this thing's fucking...
So what does that mean?
Well, so what it is the cam lobes...
So is that a good or bad thing?
That's why it's idling like that.
Okay.
So, because the cam...
Alright, so the big bore is finally all done. Got them all loaded up. Tried to get it out the last time and the fucking... the rocker arm was all fucked up, had to order a new one, so we're gonna take them down to the battlegrounds, test her out, and compare her up against the new stock CRF 110 and see what the 143 really does.